And returning to President Donald Trump's massive immigration fight, the White House's deportation policy has sparked strong criticism from Pope Francis. In a letter to U.S. Catholic bishops, the Pope condemned the policy, calling it a disgrace, and stating that deporting people fleeing poverty, violence, and environmental crisis harms human dignity. Now, while the Pope did acknowledge a nation's right to secure its borders, he emphasized the importance of treating all individuals with respect and fairness.
This will be a disgrace because it makes the poor wretches who have nothing pay the bill for the imbalance. This won't do. This is not the way to solve things. That's not how things are resolved.
Now, Tom Homan, Trump's border czar, was quick to respond and defend the president, accusing the Pope of hypocrisy. Homan pointed out that the Vatican has a wall to protect itself and that he had no right to interfere in the U.S. border security. He further stated that the Pope should focus on the Catholic Church rather than U.S. immigration policy.
I look at how this works for the Pope. Pope wants to fix the Catholic Church. I'm saying this as a lifelong Catholic. I was baptized Catholic. I was First Communion as a Catholic, Confirmation as a Catholic. He ought to fix the Catholic Church and concentrate on his work and leave border enforcement to us. He wants to attack us from securing our border. He's got a wall around the Vatican, does he not? So he's got a wall around to protect his people and himself, but we can't have a wall around the United States. So I wish he'd stick to the Catholic Church and fix that and leave border enforcement to us.
And Vice President J.D. Vance also weighed in defending the administration's stance, calling the Pope, quote, a stranger who lives thousands of miles away, end quote. He also referenced the concept of order of love, which he claims supports prioritizing one's own citizens over outsiders. Now, Pope Francis and Donald Trump have certainly clashed over immigration in the past. Going back to 2016, the Pope criticized Donald Trump's proposed border wall, calling it, quote, not Christian, end quote. So as tensions rise, the debate over immigration continues, and the Trump administration remains firm in its stance, arguing that national security and law enforcement must take priority. Meanwhile, religious leaders and immigrant advocates push back, insisting on policies that prioritize human dignity and compassion. But as protests grow and political pressure mounts, one question remains: how long before something gives?
We're calling the show Vantage. We hope you like what we put together for you. Touted as the minimum defense from that video. India's neighbors were the first to send the special edition of Vantage live from the White House throughout this week. Yes, Hindu Mandir in we're on our way to Tel Aviv. Team measure, but it's also the perfect way to drive.
I don't think
Prime Minister of Bhutan, Sherin Tagwe. Welcome to
60% of the world's
office. Prime Minister Modi did the iron.
We were actually.
What are you doing? How do you like? It's been 1 year since that meeting. Iron bars separate you from the outside. Out the vote effort. Trump had, it says, and at $4.3 trillion. 4.3 300 billion by 2030. That's what we need to tackle climate change.